So my piece Undertow, which I wrote in 1999 for Chroma, began life with a different title. It was called The Oscillating Mirror. That was a working title. It's really about, it's one of the first examples in my work of layering lots and lots of material which is very cyclic. So it's a little bit like taking some of the early music techniques, like 14th century sort of counterpoint techniques where they have cycles of pitches and cycles of rhythms, and create something called an isorhythm, which is a combination of those things. So I've used a lot of that in this piece. And it's a precursor for a lot of, almost all of my, I would say, mixed ensemble chamber music, which works with cyclic material. Some of the kind of vivid performance notes might be worth talking about a little, because I use the word icy, and it can imply different things in my music. It can mean that a moment should feel frozen or partly frozen. I think with this work, there's so much forward motion, cyclic motion, lots of energy, forward flowing energy, that I wanted it to suddenly feel like it stops in its tracks. It's quite animal in a way. It can also mean, it can also apply, I mean, that term icy can also apply to the sound quality. It can mean no vibrato, for example, in the strings, or it might just be an indication of the overall sound picture. So everyone together should have an icy colour to the sound quality. And a few listening posts for the piece. I would listen out to the interruption that happens after about 30 seconds. The piano has been kind of spinning a web into two different patterns, one in each hand, which have this cyclic quality. Feels like it could go on forever, but the violin and cello enter, and it's as if they're trying to trip up the piano. But I think it's also as if they're trying to they want to play a different game. And I think they succeed in sort of changing the energy there. They change the motion. But the violin then introduces the first long note. All the other notes up till that point have been very short and fast. And it's almost as if the violin is trying to elbow some space into the work, shifting the view in a way also from small mechanisms to a wide horizon, like zooming up like a bird's eye view. And these long notes sometimes change into trills, like ice. This is another icy quality, melting, freezing, reforming, and together forming a suspended layer like an Arctic horizon. And you'll feel that, hopefully, that contrast against the kind of dance-like mechanisms that the piano starts the piece with. Listen out for the clarinet taking over the piano's opening material, and later when the whole group sort of zoom back down from the wide Arctic horizon to the kind of nitty-gritty, and they all become part of this like dance-like, small, fast notes, forward motion, texture becomes much more earthy at that point. I hope you'll know when you get to the end, because it should feel as if the sound has plunged deep into water and it sort of sways here, sort of as the different currents move this way and that, and then that's the end. I revised it actually 20 years after it was written, and I think it was just about tweaking it so that the form and probably the orchestration, which clarifies the form, became a bit clearer. Right now, I've just finished a huge piece for the Asker Schoenberg Ensemble called Canopies of Liquid Light. It uses the same instrumentation of Steve Reich's City Life, 2 pianos, 3 percussion, as well as wind strings and electronics. And that will be premiered in April 2024.